Good morning, this is Dr. Kelvin Gorell here, and I'm going to do a brief educational video on a very important test that I think is going to be critically important to life extension and health and wellness. It is called the Gene SNP, and the SNP stands for single nucleotide polymorphisms, but with this kit that I am selling, normally it's $3.95 this week only. I'm going to sell it for $2.95, but the kit has to be used and processed by September 30th. So what I'm going to do, this is a time limited only, but you're going to save $100. So but call the office if you're interested, 352-224-3139. Briefly, I'm going to give you an overview and show you how to use the kit. I'm going to use my own kit, and you're going to see me collect the sample. What you have to do is swab your cheek and collect some DNA from that, and in return what you'll get is a customized roadmap of things you can do to extend your life. Maybe you're at a higher risk of heart disease or osteoporosis than a normal person, but there are things you can do with that information that can actually fortify your body and contradict your trajectory of how soon you would get those diseases, or maybe with enough preventative care you can make it where you don't get the disease or that issue in your life at all. So what I'm going to do now is give you a close-up view of my website, which is drgorell.com, and I'm going to show you how to get a preferred customer ID number and some other things here. Okay, you can see here at the top, this is the website, drgorell.com, and you click here to take the Nutri-Physical, and also that's where you would go to get the preferred customer ID number. When you click there, here's what it looks like. Let's get started. Take the Nutri-Physical now. That's all you have to do is click forward, and all you have to really do is put your name and your email address in here to get your preferred customer ID. That's the extent of what you would need to do before the next step, which is you can use the kit at that point. Here's what the kit looks like. This is an unopened Gene SNP kit. This is what you get for $295. And the inside is here you have a code that you can use your preferred customer ID number here at the website yourgenesnp.com to register. There's also about a 15 to 20 minute questionnaire that you have to fill out. You sign in form, consent form, etc. to do it. Then after that, what you would do is you use these swabs here to swab your inner cheek, one on each cheek, and these are the instructions here how to provide your DNA sample, and it shows you right here with the instructions. You do each one of these swabs for 1 minute, rubbing inside the upper cheek first thing in the morning. They recommend you let it air dry overnight or for 8 hours or so before you put it in this envelope. Then you'll put it inside the mailer here, the bubble wrap mailer, with this FedEx prepaid billable stamp. Now, even though it says expiration December 2012, I've talked to the company, which is Body Sync Labs, and they say that that is extended, so that's not an issue. They will go ahead and process this. The other things in the kit is some more information, how to complete it, and informed consent. It explains in detail, some of the legalese about what it is, what it does, it doesn't do. This gives them the authorization to process the information in your DNA sample that you've submitted. Also, this book is in there to give some more information about the DNA analysis, how it works, etc. And then privacy policy, the fact that this information won't be shared with anybody else. In fact, the DNA samples are destroyed and so on after you get your valid report back. Now, the other thing on the website here, let's go back there briefly. There's an informative video, and also there are some drop-down menus on here that I liked a great deal. So let me show you where those are. So this here is the your your genesnip.marketamerica.com website. So you can put that in your hard address bar, and this is where you're going to get, and you can also see this GeneSNP overview video. What I like to do is click here to watch it on YouTube, and also here's the other information. Get the facts, the basics, GeneSNP Advantage, weight management issues, heart health, blood sugar, bone health, and it explains how the GeneSNP DNA analysis will help you have knowledge and information that will help you to improve all of those situations in your life. And they're all very important health topics that are some of the most common places where my patients get diseases and issues come up in their life. And then to the fact of the matter is, people, sometimes obviously die of heart disease. So what if we could come up with a roadmap to tell you in detail how can you prevent yourself from having a heart attack or a stroke? Cardiovascular health, or lack thereof, is one of the most common ways that people actually wind up passing, unfortunately. So obviously if we can do things to extend that, you will also add years to your lifespan. Now these are the drop-down menus I just showed you. This is what it looks like, the frequently asked questions. So if you're an intellectual person, like to read a lot, these are the type of things. You can even print this out and explain some of the SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphisms, that the test looks at, etc. Here's another one. How does it work? How does the test work, etc. And that's the GeneSNP Advantage. Shows you what the test does. It evaluates over 30 genes and 41 single nucleotide polymorphisms spanning 7 different areas of health. Delivers a comprehensive health action plan so you can come up with ideas and suggestions to maintain optimal health potential, including based on analysis of your genetics. Recommended formulary cocktail of isotonic nutraceuticals or supplements can be recommended. And while your DNA itself doesn't change, your lifestyle can change. And when you modify your lifestyle, these things can extend your life. In fact, here's another topic that's addressed: how gene variation affects weight management. Crucial role in how efficiently we burn fat with exercise, etc. These are the single nucleotide polymorphisms that are addressed for that topic. For example, exercise-induced changes in insulin action are associated with ACE gene polymorphism, etc. So there's a lot you can learn, and obviously I believe strongly you should live by the mantra ASK, which means always seeking knowledge. So if you're seeking knowledge, you will find knowledge. In other words, if you seek health and wellness, you will find health and wellness. If you seek disease management, then that's what you will get, is disease management, but you'll still be diseased. So I would rather seek, and I recommend to my patients, seek and search for wellness. The side effect of being well is if you're well, you're not diseased. The diseases will go into remission by themselves as you become more and more healthy and well. So this is a fantastic tool, which I recommend to my patients and to anyone who cares about being proactive. You don't have to be a victim and just say, okay, well, I had a heart attack. I don't know where that came from. I'm an innocent victim of it. Actually, your body is provoked by your lifestyle choices, as you may not be knowing that you're doing things that provoke or promote heart disease. This type of test or this type of education and knowledge will help you to take charge and be responsible as a steward of your own health and wellness. Because think of it this way, your DNA loads the gun, but your body and the environment pulls the trigger. So in other words, just because you have a genetic tendency toward a certain medical problem or even cancer, everybody in your family doesn't have to have cancer, and you personally don't have to have cancer. But that's where the environmental influence and nutraceuticals and adaptogens can come in and change that clinical course. Even if you actively have adult onset diabetes and obesity, high blood pressure, heart disease, or have had a prior stroke, we can do things to make it far less likely for you to have a repeat occurrence of that. But you know, as everything in life, there are no guarantees. Why? Because even if you buy a supplement, I have many people buy the supplement, and half the time I'll see them the next month and they say, oh, well, I haven't started taking it yet. To be honest, I'm just not in the habit of it. So one of the biggest things in life is habit force. You know, and dominantly it takes 21 days to create a new habit. But this is what we want to do, is create a habit of wellness. Now let's look at this video clip real quick to educate and learn more. Okay, so when you click right here, Gene SNP overview video watch on YouTube, here's what you're going to get. And we're going to watch this in full screen. How genes affect you. No two people have the same fingerprint. Our genetic variations make us different. These small variations are called SNPs, or single nucleotide polymorphisms. They can influence how we metabolize food, what types of exercise are best suited to our bodies, help us better understand ourselves, to improve our lifestyle, nutrition, supplementation, and exercise, to maximize our genetic potential and promote optimal health. Genes and nutrition interacting. So as you can see, the foods, organic, natural, whole foods. Your body is designed to win. In other words, when you eat the right foods, you can achieve optimal health. Now we can adjust our nutritional intake based on our unique genetic variation. There's a correlation between nutrition and genetics and nutraceuticals. The Gene SNP DNA analysis will provide you with the strategic health action plan, which is like a roadmap for your body. So you can understand how vitamins, minerals, nutraceuticals can give you a game plan and an action plan so you can win and achieve optimal health, wellness, and life extension. How genes and exercise influence each other, and these in turn influence disease, will be reviewed. A runner and a gymnast, for example, have the same goals of peak performance, but they train in different ways. One for endurance and speed versus the gymnast for strength and flexibility. Your genes relate to your fitness and your ideal exercise and recovery program. This is a nutriokinesio genetic screen of 40 genetic variations, which can help you better understand which exercises will help you achieve better results and personal peak performance. Learn how your genes work with the environment and with other influences, the foods you eat, etc. Register online and call the Gorell Institute 813-468-3726 to order your kit today at the special price of $295 between now and September 30th, 2013. We'll send this to the CLIA certified lab. That was where they were using polymerase chain reaction to pull out the DNA single nucleotide polymorphisms. And then you'll get this custom report at home with the health action plan. Now they send this to you as a downloadable email. Now if you want to print it out, now we have a color laser printer at the office. We'll be happy to help you print this out. But this is what Mary Lee did here personally. And she packaged it in this nice binder here. And this is something she did. They don't necessarily do this here. But as you can see, you can make this look really nice. And the printout is customized for her. And it shows all her variations and so on. It shows all those 40 different variations and how those affect her health. Shows her current intake estimation on her different amounts of vitamins, folate, etc. As you know, folic acid deficiency, you may or may not know, is affiliated with a neurotube defect called spina bifida. So we want to start wellness and even preventing disease. We want to start the treatment for that in utero or even before birth. Proper nutrition, detoxification of both the parents, the mom and the dad, is going to be critically important to the health and wellness of the baby. If you, for example, want to have a more intelligent child, there's research to show that adding omega-3 fat supplementation will increase the intelligence by 10 to 20 points. So wellness of the child starts in utero. There's research coming out of the Netherlands showing that they were able to decrease the rate of type 1 juvenile onset diabetes by 25 to 50% by giving vitamin D supplementation to the mothers there. Obviously, the more to the north you go in the world, the more likely you are to be vitamin D deficient. And people of African American or people of color are even more vitamin D deficient as they go more north, like into places like Detroit or Canada, and live, because they are designed to have more sun exposure. And here at the end of this test, you can see is the certification by the lab director, Hannes Thompson, MD, that this is a CLIA certified lab, Body Sync Inc. of Aurora, Colorado, and the test results and all the gene SNPs that they tested for, etc. Also here at the top, the name Kelvin Gorell, MD, and the Gorell Institute, 5119 Commercial Way, the submitter, and so on. So there you have it. So hopefully this is something that you will realize, as I have, is a tremendous bargain at just $295 versus a price of a test like this used to be, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars. In fact, it used to not even be available before the Human Genome Project. So hopefully you will want to be proactive. This is the type of people I'm seeking, are patients who want a doctor who's a wellness coach and not just somebody who you go to once you're having a heart attack or a stroke, you're already sick and diseased, but or you have ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, you're having hot flashes, perimenopausal symptoms. Let's come up with an action plan to put those situations in remission and get you to the state of optimal health and wellness that God wants you to be in, and that your DNA, your physiology, your body at the genetic level is trying to get you to that state of optimal health and wellness. And I'm very convinced if your body is given the metabolic tools to heal itself, it will. So please call me if I can be of any assistance. I'm happy to help you and answer any questions at the Gorell Institute, 5119 Commercial Way, Spring Hill, Florida, 352-224-3139. And have a great day. And two, may God bless you and your family with health and wellness. All right, P.S. Here's a little tip. This little swab is pre-scored, so once you collect your samples from each cheek, you can, and they dry, you can snap that off and just submit the paddles, but don't submit the whole stick because it is too long to fit in the bag. Don't forget go ahead and register online so you can have the Gene SNP order number, date of birth, and so on linked to the randomly assigned number. Once this gets to the factory, they will only have this random number, so nobody will know it's you if you're worried about your DNA going somewhere. And if you want, you can collect both samples of what, like me, and be an overachiever and do them both at once like this to your health and your future DNA. And they're up in the top of my cheeks right here, right behind those molars, and I'm just going to swab it and rub, 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 rub. You might get a little bleeding. It's a little bit like sandpaper, microscopic sandpaper, but it has to be like that to collect your DNA. So that's just so you know. It's not the most uncomfortable thing or comfortable thing in the world, but hey, we got to do what we got to do for the sake of science and to our health and wellness. Amen. Ciao for now. Now once you're on this page here and you have purchased your kit, here's where you go. At the top, and it says Gene SNP profile. This is where you click here. First off, it'll say log in. I logged in here with my preferred customer ID and password. Now your default password is going to be America. Now after you log in, then you do Gene SNP profile to get to where you're going to go ahead and enter your SNP code and so on and keep going forward. So you're going to enter that there, etc. Okay, that should be it. You see, order your Gene kit, which you have to pick it up at the office or we'll mail it to you by FedEx overnight. You complete your secure online Gene SNP profile using your code found within your kit, which is what I'm doing now. So hope these tips all help and make it a very pleasant, easy, and user-friendly experience to use the kit. Alright, and by the way, here's my swabs here. Make sure and use a timer so you don't go too far. But it's okay, it's normal to have a little bit of blood on there. But just remember, you only have to do 60 seconds. And I went up and down the upper gum here to get a good tissue sample. You don't have to just do one tiny little spot. Hope that helps. Ciao. One other tip here now, after you are in the Gene SNP customer profile, hit save down here, and then you also have to hit next page and see if it records it, it'll go to orange right over here. Okay, so it doesn't just automatically move forward after you save it. You have to then hit next page at the bottom.